quickly losing your favorite student status. Just saying. Ooh, just kidding. All right. Really quickly here, friends, what is the difference between conservation and consumption? Let's see. Angel, did you guys come up with an answer for that one? Not really? Hold on, friends. We are now talking as an entire class, as an entire community, so I need you to be quiet, please. If you have something to add or share, I would love to hear it, but chatting about other stuff is not super helpful. Angel, I did not hear what you said. You didn't get a chance to talk about that one? Okay. Let me know which one you want to talk about, and I'll let you do that one. Does that sound good? Okay. All right. Who's got an answer for question number 1? You got one, Hannah? Conservation?
Yeah, just trying to save. The other one is like drinking.
Okay, so conservation is kind of like trying to save. And it can be saving whatever, right? You can conserve money. You're 10 school days away from being sophomores in high school, right? Act like it, please. Okay? Thank you. Trying to save, it can be money, it can be resources, it can be anything. Okay? Consumption is what? Using it. So we'll say resources mostly. Because you can argue that those resources are monetary resources or natural resources or whatever. Consumption is using them up. And perhaps using resources as to whatever end such that you're not going to have them anymore, right? If you're trying to conserve them, you're trying to save them or reuse them, whereas consumption means that you're using them up. All right. Question 2. This one I'm guessing was a little bit different for different people. So I'm going to read it out loud and then I'm just going to do hand counts. How long do you spend in the shower per day? About 1 song length. So if you were listening to music while you were showering, would it be about 1 song about 4 minutes? 2 songs about 8 minutes? Or 3 songs about 12 minutes? Raise your hand if you take it. It's about 4 minutes a day. 1. That's awesome. How about 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Y'all crazy.
6.
I would take like good 20 minutes.
All right. Friends, if you pay attention and stop talking, then you'll totally know where I'm at, okay? This is not a hard process. Raise your hand if you think that your shower takes about 3 songs. That's about a 12-minute shower. We'll do that one next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 of you. And if you think you take a shower that's longer than that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Are we combining like our full shower time for the whole day?
Yes. It says how long do you spend in the shower per day? So if you take 2 really short showers, then that would be, yeah. I mean, some people, like if you exercise a lot, you may need 2 showers a day, right? Like that, there's no judgment there. I'm just curious. Now, does anybody know how many gallons you use, or do you have any idea of how many gallons of water you use per day? 20 gallons?
That's what I guess.
5? We're going to find out in a little bit today. All right. 15? 50?
Yeah. 50 milk jugs?
Wow. All right. And then question 3. Friends, please be quiet. We'll talk in just a second. What was your question, Ava?
Is it how much you physically use or how much like comes out? Comes water?
How much? So if you stand in the shower for 12 minutes how much water is coming out of the shower head and running into the drain during that time. Whether you're actually using every drop or not, right? If it comes out of the shower head and goes into the drain, then I would call that using the water. Yeah. All right, what did you say? Where do you think you'll more likely have a water crisis? Phoenix, Arizona, or North Liberty, Iowa? Phoenix, Arizona? Why'd you say that?
Because it's really dry there, and they're more likely to have droughts, and then it doesn't really rain. So.
What kind of climate do they have in Phoenix, Arizona? Do you know? It's an arid, it's a desert, right? Yeah. So they don't have a lot of water. So the water that they do get, I mean, they have a rainy season, and a lot of that water washes into their canals in Phoenix, and they, it goes places, but they don't get nearly, they don't get this on a normal basis. Whereas here we've been complaining about it raining for the last 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
Could you also consider a water crisis too much water, like what happened in Iowa?
That's a really good question. I like the way that you asked that. I think that the spirit of this question was a lack of water, but that's a good point. We might have too much. Which means that it's what? What do you know? It starts with an S. The ground is saturated or very nearly saturated. That's what happens when you get a flood, right? All right. So that's a good call. Thank you for asking that. All right. So we are going to do a little activity today. You are going to imagine that you are in a family of four, the four people that are sitting at your table. So you want to write down everybody's name, the group members' names there. And then we're going to ask, so you're going to write down your name and then the names of the three other people on your table. And then we're going to ask some questions just to get a sense of what your water consumption might look like. Okay. So as you're getting your names written down, this activity comes from the Arizona State University. Don't want to mess that up because it's kind of like Iowa State. It's a little bit of a rival. Yeah. So they have an Institute of Sustainability there. It's actually quite cool, and they put together this activity. So this is written primarily for students in Arizona to understand things. So there's some Arizona focused stuff, but it's still very relevant and pretty interesting. So water consumption in Arizona, similar to that in Iowa. Let's talk about how we use water in the desert or in Iowa. It doesn't matter what we're using. So I want you to go ahead and just take a note of how long that shower is that you take. And we're going to compare that to the rainfall in Phoenix. So just to give you a sense of how much rainfall, we don't think there's very much rainfall in Phoenix, right? It's a desert. 76 billion gallons of rain fall in Phoenix every year. Okay? That's over the entire city. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Phoenix. It's huge. It is, let's talk about sprawl, right? Holy cow, it's everywhere. But it's interesting to note that. Okay. If we divide that amount of water and give everybody an equal amount, everybody in Phoenix would get about 35,500 gallons. So you may want to make a note of that. That is kind of our goal amount that we're talking about. 35,500 gallons. So that's how much water you get. Okay? Okay, hold on just a second. Sorry, this one is not one that we're going to add in there. I just wanted to share this with you. So, how much water do you use in the shower every year? So if you take a 4-minute shower every day, you're using 12% of your allotted rainwater. Okay? If you take an 8-minute shower every day, you're using a quarter of all the water you get just for showering. take a 12-minute shower every day, you're using, well, 37%. That's getting close to half, right? Okay? So those of you that are saying, oh, I take a 15-minute, 20-minute shower every day. Okay? There is judgment happening now, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what you chose last time. I'm saying now you need to think about this. Okay? How much water are you using? It's a lot. It's a lot of water, my friends. It is a lot of water. A shower is not the only place you use water. Where else do you use water in the home? Wash your hands? I hope so. When you flush the toilet? The washing machine when you're doing your laundry?
Yeah, there is. In my house, there is.
Okay.
What are you yelling about?
I'm kidding.
She said a pool, and I said,
Yeah, you have a pool in your house.
Some people may, and we'll get to that in a minute. Just you wait.
My hot tub.
You may water your plants. I don't know if I heard brushing your teeth.
And sprinklers.
cooking.
Sprinklers in your yard? What did you say? Did you say something? I thought I heard you say the thing that I was thinking. What did you say?
Cooking.
Yeah! Friends, you consume a lot of water too, right? Cooking, doing dishes,
The dishwasher.
things to drink. Yes, all of those things use a lot of water every single day. Every single day. We're going to talk about some things to kind of quantify and get a sense of what's going on. Okay? So we're talking about the 4 people that are sitting at your table. They are your little pretend family. Phoenix rainfall available for 4 people. You have got 142,000 gallons. I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to send you up to the front here. Send one person from your table up to the front. Hold on just a second. Let me tell you what you're going to do first. You're going to come get a big water jug. Okay? And we are going to mark on this water jug how much water you use every day. So on your water bottle, the person that goes to get the water bottle, well, I won't tell you what's going to happen yet because I don't want to jinx anything. Okay? You're going to need to get the water bottle. You're going to need to get a ruler. And we're not going to color it blue because that seems like a lot of work. So just come up and get the sheet and a ruler. That's all you need to do.
I'm sorry. I say
All right. Whichever person got the paper and the ruler, I want you to pass it one person to the left. On that water bottle, 1 centimeter is 10,000 gallons. I want you to measure 14.2 centimeters, which equals the 142,000 gallons you get. Okay? You're measuring in centimeters.
Do you count the black part?
From the bottom. Nope, just the gray part. Okay? And once you got that line on your water bottle, I want you to draw a line across and then mark that's 142,000 gallons. Okay?
no, that is.
So, are we doing okay? Do you guys have questions?
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Okay. So that's how much water you get to use. Up to that level. Here we go. In addition to the showers that you take, in addition to brushing your teeth and eating and running the washing machine and running the dishwasher and all of those things, water is also used to make clothes. Okay? Just one little way to think about things.
How are they used to make clothes?
Well, so your blue jeans are made from cotton,
Yeah.
okay? And there's a process, just like there is with water bottles, to go from oil into a water bottle. From cotton to go into blue jeans takes a lot of washing and a lot of processing, right? I'm not just going to hand you a bushel of cotton and say, there's your pants, right? That doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of processing that happens. That's the point, okay? Are the blue jeans that you own, I'm not asking about the ones you have on today or whatever, but think about the clothes that you wear. Are they mostly bought new or are they mostly used? On your chart, where it says clothing in gallons, if you use mostly new clothes, 1,700 gallons of water. So you're going to write that next to your name. Okay? So you're going to have your name here. And then it's 1,700. I'll put it back over. Or you're going to put, if you use mostly used, 800 gallons of water per person.
Do we write that?
So you're going to write yours and then you'll write everybody else's below. And then you're going to find a total all the way down. So it's either 1,700 or it's 800. Find your total in gallons and then write down how many centimeters it's going to be. Pass that water bottle one person to the left. They're going to measure and color in red. You got to add them up. Figure out how many centimeters it is. Start from the bottom. Measure and color in red. So you got this, and then you're going to convert that to centimeters. Right, so you're going to move it up to 6.8. So 1 centimeter is 1,000 gallons. 5.9. Yep.
So it'd be less than one.
I go from the bottom. Ow.
It's illegal.
Oh, friends, hold on just a second. I think that we converted wrong. 1 centimeter is 10,000 gallons, not 1,000 gallons. Oh, that's going to be better. I was like, 6.8 doesn't seem right to me. So if you had, Haley, what was your total? 6,800? So that's going to be 0.68. That makes sense? You can do 0.7, yes.
One at most. I don't know.
Yep, color that part in. So go ahead and fill up that part of the water bottle and color it in red.
That include like laundry or just like the
That's just the manufacture of the pants. That is it. What's that?
Is that for one pair?
It's like average,
Okay.
right? Like we're just kind of trying to get numbers. Yeah. All right, how are we doing with our red coloring? We're good? So it shouldn't be a lot of your thing, but just you wait. There's more coming. All right, water is also used for recreation, right? Water is used for recreation. We're going to kind of do this in two separate pieces. How many of you like to swim in the summer? Anybody? Every day. That's awesome. You're like, not in pools. Gotcha. So we're thinking about this. If you've ever been down to Arizona, every house has a pool. Like not literally, but
Yeah.
pretty darn close to it. Right? Like because it's so hot. So that's kind of what we're thinking about. Here we go. So the question is, there are two sections on your chart, right? You're looking at the one that says pool. Do you mostly swim in a private pool or a public pool? If you swim in a private pool, 11,000 gallons of water per person per year. If you swim in a public swimming pool, 10 gallons of water per person per year. Okay? So go ahead and write that down. This is on your chart, right? What's that? If it's a private pool, then it's a private pool. If you go to the aquatic center, then it's a public pool. Does that make sense? It's okay. There's no judgment happening here. It's just a learning activity. Yep. So these are going right in here, right? Okay. So the numbers were either 11,000 or 10. It's a little bit of a difference. Okay. The next question. Do you mostly play in a private backyard or a public park? So here's the way to ask the question.
We don't play in parks.
If you anytime you spend outside is really what the question is asking. So if you spend time outside on public spaces, okay? So like if you go to the reservoir area, if you go to a park, if you go somewhere that's public, we're going to call it this. If you go somewhere that is private, okay, whether it's because your family pays for it or because you just stay at your house, either of those, okay? So 2,500 gallons of water for private backyards. What's that?
Yeah, some of them are private.
I would say
I mean, we have to pay for some.
So again, add them up. Yep, I'll go get you some purple in just a second so you can color it in. Do you want to get purple for everybody? Thanks, Haley. Pass it around to the next person on the left. Haley's going to bring purple pencils over for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 5 of them.
Oh, you got 5.
Perfect. You're such a rock star. Also modest.
For the field?
Add all of that recreation together. Yes. Add all of that recreation together. So do you see, Lauren, how it's like all put together here? Yeah. So go from the red line, because you're adding more in. We just had a really good question. When you're doing that measuring for the purple, you're going to measure from the top of the red line, right? Because we're adding more water into our jug. Okay? All right, how are we doing? Okay, I'm not going anywhere. Get your purple done? Haley, do you want to go get green pencils for everybody too? Since you're up. Yeah, and the red ones. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Are we colored? Lauren's working on it. You guys about done? Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay, gotcha. So 0.68 is half a centimeter. Let's do that. Oh, so you measure from here. I get you. So this is 14. Yeah, from down here. Okay, I understand. Cool. We try to grab it. Don't take our purple. No, it's fine as long as you're consistent. I think most people are purple yet.
I'm using my
It's fine. It's fine. All right. So I've got at least one person that's still doing purple, but I'm going to keep moving because time keeps ticking away. So you've got clothing that requires some of your water. We've got recreation that requires some of your water. Probably the biggest source of water usage outside of your home that you take on is water used to make the food. And by that, I don't mean what Elena meant earlier, which was to cook. This is not to cook the food. What are you guys doing? Just come on, let's go. No, just come sit down. It'll be fine. You can come get it in a little bit. I want you to pay attention over here so you understand. In order to make the food, in order to grow the crops or grow the food to raise the animals, it takes a lot of water, friends. It takes a lot of water. So here we go. Now, I know that most of you don't eat the same thing every day, but I want you to be genuinely honest about what you eat more often. What kind of food do you eat for dinner most? If you eat beef more often than not, 94,000 gallons of water per year. If you eat chicken more often than not, 24,000 gallons. If you don't eat meat very often, and I'm not saying you have to be a vegetarian, like I'm not going to come inspect, but like if you usually don't eat meat, then 7,000 gallons of water is what you've got. Okay? So write down what you generally eat. And again, I'm not coming to check your plate. Okay? But go ahead and write those ones down and add them up.
Would it be like at home or
In general. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. I'm not going to come check your plate. I'm not going to be like, you said you don't eat meat. Like, no. Like, I eat meat, but I don't eat very much meat. So I would say
like does it mean
it does.
289,000.
So go with the middle. Go with chicken. Yeah. So you're going to move that over 3 spots, or 4 spots. Oh! That's interesting. We don't even have enough space. Oh, it's like we're learning by doing, you guys. What? It's interesting. If it overflows, it overflows. Show me how it overflows. Figure it out. What? Some of you aren't going to overflow. If you have a lot of people that don't eat a lot of beef, if you eat a lot of beef, then you probably consume more meat or more water. Pesto pasta? I have pesto pasta last night. No, it has to be.
We're talking about which one.
What? Not just like I'm so hungry right now. Not gonna lie. Delicious. Delicious. Do it, friends. Color it out. It just doesn't even fit. Color it out.
Scrubble it.
No. Yeah, I ate 4,000.
How'd we do? Did we use a lot of water? Yeah. It's interesting, right? If you're not coloring in green and you want to take a look at the back of your yellow sheet, there are some questions you can start to answer. Okay? By the time you come in on Monday, you need to have the whole back finished. There's a link to the video on the bottom that's already posted up on Canvas. Okay?
I've been practicing for it.
Oh, but they're still working, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you for offering. Start working. You got a few minutes to finish. So do what you can do.
We do use